I'm Nicole Papiano from Your Instructional Designer, and you are on Learning Pro Intros. Today I'm here with Lisa Giacumo. And Lisa, could you tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yes, hi Nicole. My name is Lisa and I am an assistant professor at Boise State University in the Organizational Performance and Workplace Learning Department. And in that role, my job is to support emerging IDs through mid-career instructional designers and performance improvement specialists, upskill their toolkits and formalize either what they've already been doing or introduce them to the field, to the theory that underlays the foundations of our practice, and learn how to make good use of it on the day-to-day grind in the job.
That's really cool. I've actually seen that you've got a whole bunch of published work out there too, so it sounds like you're immersed in the theory also.
Right. I also do write a little bit about the things that I've done in the past. Everything that I write is informed by my experience working in a variety of roles as an instructional designer or manager. I've worked in community college settings, university settings, master's degree program settings, just regular colleges. I've worked at startups, I've worked at nonprofits, I've worked at global, international, non-governmental organizations, and I've worked at multinational corporate organizations as an instructional designer or a performance improvement specialist to either support faculty instructors or actual departments personnel to gain the knowledge and skills they need to become more effective on the job on a daily basis. So I have a lot to draw upon, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And so that's my way of giving back and helping to prepare the next generation of professionals who are entering the field.
It sounds like you have a really well-rounded view of the industry, and your students are really lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish I could have had some classes with you before I jumped right into the job.
Right. I never really even knew that instructional design, I didn't know formally that it existed. Somewhere in the back of my head, I realized that people had to get trained as they went into corporate settings to do different jobs at large multinational organizations. But once I found that out, I kind of got really interested and excited about it. And so I started working and exploring, and decided that I wanted to have that experience when I did finally enter into academia as a faculty member, so that when I was teaching students and offering perspective, it could be grounded in actual lived experiences as somebody who did the job that they're either in or going to prepare to enter into.
Yeah.
That was important to me.
That's really cool. Do you have like a favorite project? I mean, you've had all of these different roles, but do you have a favorite project that you've ever done?
I think my favorite project was working in the supply and logistics department for Oxfam GB, Great Britain, Oxfam, Great Britain. So Oxfam delivers sanitation and clean water to survivors of natural disasters. And the supply and logistics department is tasked with getting materials to the location of the disaster to build the sanitation or to build the drinking water delivery system, and sourcing locally, obviously, whenever possible. Sometimes it's not possible, so it's just gets really complicated. And so they brought me on to help build the capacity of the partner organizations that they're working with, because they do try to build the local capacity of the people in the area and the organizations in the area and work through partners, rather than airdrop expertise and knowledge and materials in and then leave someday. They prefer to work within the system that exists to increase its ability to respond to the situation at hand. And that was probably, you know, my most favorite. But getting it, you know, because I had such a wide variety of experiences, I wanted to like kind of sample. That was my goal actually for quite a while, is to work at a lot of different places so I could get a handle on what exactly all was out there. And I got a chance to work on everything from nursing courses to computer cybersecurity courses to nuclear powered submarines and, you know, all the regular stuff, to psychology and the rest. So, you know, I just really I love learning about new stuff. So the job really fit me well. I'm always curious and wanting to meet people and hear their stories. So, you know, it was a really good fit for a long time.
Yeah,
And
it
I
sounds
had a
like
lot of
lots of people would agree with you since
fun. Yeah.
you've been selected for so many different teams. Is
Yeah.
there, you know, pulling from all of these different experiences and all of these different types of training and education that you've developed, is there something you think new folks should be thinking about, or a skill they should be developing? Some advice?
Yeah, so I think for me, the most important, it was clearly important to have a formal knowledge, to be able to talk the talk to other designers. And as I entered into the field, so my background, formal education and preparation really helped a lot. But after I got that, you know, the basics down, what set my career on a unique trajectory was my constant tiresome drive to work and learn and meet other people, building relationships, but with the goal to gain their perspective on the situation. So I think that was really differentiated my skill set, and my ability to apply it was talking and building relationships and gaining other people's perspective.
Yeah, that's like a really powerful skill, but also not necessarily something that comes natural to everyone. So,
I had
you
to
know,
learn how to do it, actually. I was not raised in a family where people were involved in corporate positions. My mom was a high school biology teacher. My father was a blue collar worker. When I went to graduate school, people told me you should network, and I had no idea what they were talking about. What does that even mean? I mean, I understand that it's English, and I hear that I should be building relationships, but I didn't know how to start or what that would look like.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
in a
when I heard it at
professional
first,
setting.
I only heard it in the context of like sales, and I was like, well, I don't really want to push myself in there.
Right. Yeah. But it turns out that's really part of the skill set that we all need to hone and continue to work hard to develop at, is building those relationships and being curious about other people's perspective and trying to wrap our heads around what they're facing on a day-to-day lived basis.
I really like how you've described that process. And I think, you know, I've had a few interviews so far and everybody has these different takeaways, but I think it's really interesting that you're bringing it back down to like human perspectives, because I think it's really easy as an instructional designer to get lost in like theory and numbers and data and your learner without really treating your learner like a person.
Right. Yeah, your learner and the system of individuals that surround and support your learner, or that's what their goal is, to support them. So learning about the system and the people involved in that system or in that organization, where handoffs are happening, you know, the white spaces, really the environment. If you think of, to go back to theory, if you think of Gilbert's revised Chevalier's revised BEM, you know, or Marker's SAM, synchronized analysis model, that environmental level, being able to navigate that and gather information about the organization is just as important as being able to gather information about the learner, and the actual performance or knowledge or attitude that's required on the job.
Yeah, that's really great information and really just some powerful stuff for the people who are thinking about getting into this industry to think about. It's essential.
Yeah. So I guess, one of the things that people could do if they're really curious about what I'm talking about is to go visit the OPWL webpage, at Boise State University. We call it OPWL, OPWL, but it's organizational performance and workplace learning. And that's where we focus on helping individuals turn that theory into replicable desired results on the job.
Awesome. So is there anything else that you would like to say to the folks at home before, or office, I guess, theoretically,
Right.
before I let you go?
Yeah, no, I think just follow your heart and listen to your gut and seek those people out and build those relationships. And everything else will follow. You just need to find your motivation and always keep following it.
I like that. Thank you for joining me today, Lisa. If you want to know more about Lisa Giacumo, you can read the description box below. And yes, technically she's Dr. Giacumo. I didn't get that one yet, but she is. But yeah, her description is below. You can go check out her program at Boise State, at OPWL, and we will catch you next time on Learning Pro Intros.
Great. Oh yeah, and one last thing is don't be afraid to follow opportunities that you never thought about following in the first place, because they're going to knock at your door. 100%. And they're super interesting, right, if you start following them.
Imposter syndrome is a real thing. Don't let it get you.
Right. Yeah, we're all figuring it out as we go.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here today, Lisa. It was really a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Dr. Nicole.
Bye-bye.